So just say
I think
start
start
webinar.
webinar.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, so good evening, everyone. This is Robert Stevenson. It is 6:01. I'm going to call to order the Suffolk County Granville Regional School District School Committee meeting for the 24th of January. Can I get a motion to enter into the meeting?
So moved. Second.
I can show hands. Aaron, the record show the meeting started with a motion 5-0-0. All right, can I get everybody to stand, please, for the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, in your packets, we have our minutes from our meeting on January 10th. Can I get a motion to enter the minutes?
So moved.
Any question for anybody on this? Can I get a show of hands to accept the minutes? Aaron, let the record show the motion passes 5-0-0. Warrants, we have the warrants here that have gone around. If everybody can please sign those, it would be great. Correspondence, Superintendent Willard, do you have anything this week?
I do. I invited Mr. Pescatelli here because I did receive an email about 2 weeks ago, and I'm just going to read it to you. And it says, "Dear Superintendent Willard, it gives us great pleasure to announce that Mr. Philip Oakes, Weston Middle School, as Assistant Principal of the Year. The Massachusetts School Administrators Association would like to formally congratulate the entire Southwick Telling Granville Regional School District community on Mr. Michael Pescatelli." Can you stand up for a minute? He was nominated by Principal Joseph Trammell for our Massachusetts Assistant Principal of the Year Award. A selection committee carefully reviewed all applications. Mr. Pescatelli was one of 4 semifinalists selected and interviewed. So although he was not the finalist, I am so proud of him. As is Mr. Trammell, who said Michael does a great job of implementing programs that support the socially emotional learning in and out of the school classroom. He has initiated programs that students and staff can find the passion beyond the classroom. Again, congratulations to your entire educational community. And I just wanted to congratulate him here in front of you and to say what an asset he is to our regional school government.
We got the Southwick Green, of course.
He'll have to say, I just wanted to
Thank you.
congratulate him. You
Appreciate
do a great job.
Thank you.
Good job, congratulations.
Take care, everybody.
Thanks for all your hard work.
So much.
He really does a lot.
All right, so next year we're gonna win it, right?
Yes, we are.
Take care. Thank you.
He's so great.
All right, so that takes us to our first public comment section. Since there's nobody in the room that's not supposed to be here, we will move on. All right, so everybody's favorite part of the meeting, our student
right.
advisory.
Fill us
Take her away, guys.
Well, it's finals week, everyone's favorite week. So after 3 years,
You're welcome. Donate
well, I mean, technically it's done now. We did finals today and yesterday, and tomorrow and Thursday we'll be doing our iReady assessments. I believe tomorrow is math. Right? And
Sure.
Thursday is English or the other way around, something like that.
You got an email out.
We,
Yeah.
at some point we got to be fun.
So in sports, boys basketball is traveling to Granby today and the girls are going to Charters Falls. The boys have a home game against Belchertown on Friday and the girls play East Hampton at home on Thursday. The hockey team plays East Hampton tomorrow and wrestling has a match against East Hampton as well. And over the weekend, the indoor track team had back-to-back meets. They traveled to the Reggie Lewis Center on Saturday for the state relays. And the boys team placed 6th overall with 1st place win in high jump and 5th place in long jump. And then on Sunday at Smith College, both teams beat Hampshire. And then student council has been working with Mr. Trammell to come up with a plan for future pep rallies. And we're looking into doing them more than once a year. To hopefully have the event be something that students can look forward to and we'll bring everybody together. And hopefully our first one will be at the beginning of February.
Very good. It's like weekend update on Saturday.
Not
about the lights. All right, well, thank you very much. Okay, So that brings us to educational presentations. So we have our fiscal year 22 annual town report.
Yeah, this is just what we submit every single year. We submit it to you well in advance because we don't expect you to read it now. But this is just a summary of last school year. So it's always interesting to write when you're halfway through the current school year to go back and revisit. And I can't tell you how many times I have to go back and change dates and change SIMS data. So it follows the same format every year. We just update it with our current initiatives. And each principal, special education and curriculum offer their updates as well in here. So it doesn't really change much of a format. We just update it yearly.
So just FYI,
Mhm.
the school committee makeup, Jonathan Chance's name needs to be changed.
No, this
Yeah.
last year.
Oh, this was last year.
Welcome to my world.
So the only thing that does need to change is my re-election year is 2024, not 2023.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I read that and I'm like, oh, John, I'm like, oh, wait a minute.
No.
This is the end. It's a year from last year, so John's still on there.
Yeah, I was having a hard time with
So.
that.
Oh, no, that-
Yeah.
Maybe-
Pam, Ted, and my spot are up the same year.
Oh, I got it.
Aaron,
Okay.
Ryan and Erica's spot are up the same year. And then Desiree's and Pat's are on different years.
Got it. See?
Yeah.
So confusing.
So Pat's should be 2022,
Nope,
No, no.
2025. Or no, should it be?
should have been.
should have been 2022.
Well, I got
This is for last year.
reelected.
Because it was
Yes, yes.
All right, so we're
Should
gonna
have
put
been, yeah.
2022.
That needs to be
in
2022 because
See, that's what.
This is for
happened.
last
there. I
because
know,
at the end of the year,
At
Yeah.
the end
He would
of
have already
last
been
year, we didn't
reelected.
know he was reelected.
but at the end of the
So-
year,
here's what they probably need to be. Both Pat and John need to say 2025. If it's the end of the year report,
all right,
because they both would have been elected.
Okay.
And then the re-election year would have been 2025.
okay,
Yeah,
And at the time of end of year, Desiree had not been voted in.
That's
yet.
correct.
Yeah.
yeah, that didn't have to, sorry.
Thank you.
Great.
That's that. And then the other thing is the 23-24 district calendar. We kept it in a very similar format and I know so maybe we'll start earlier. They do, we're actually starting the 28th this year. We have in our contract that the earliest we can actually start is the 25th now, which is actually new in this contract.
But it's Friday.
But it's Friday, but it's also, it used to say that we couldn't start until the last Monday in August, but go back 3 years, that was the 31st. We weren't even starting PD until the 31st. So we did get it changed the 25th. So eventually that will benefit us, but this isn't that bad of a start on the 28th.
No, that's 28 start for the teachers, right? So the
Correct.
kids still start on the 31st.
31st.
Okay.
Correct. And then and then we did the same format that we did this year, where we have like on the 19th and the 20th of October. The 19th, the teachers are actually working a day and a half. And then on Friday, they'll have that half day. So it will be 2 half days for students on the 19th and the 20th. But one of the ones is because the 19th, the teachers are working in the afternoon for parent teacher conferences and then the evening. So they're working a day and a half. And then the 20th, everybody has a half day.
And same is true in Martin.
And the same is true. And then we are doing that additional 4th PD day on the Tuesday. We got a lot of feedback from the teachers and the kids that they really liked the day after the holiday break as being the additional teachers came in and did PD. They were ready to learn. They weren't ready to go out on Christmas or holiday break. And they loved coming in that day and having that soft reopening. They felt like they were in a really good place to learn again. And then the kids had the extra day off and everybody else went back to
so-
school, so
Okay.
they loved it too.
Yeah.
So lots of good feedback about that. And besides that, everything else, holiday vacations are the same weeks, always with President's Day and with Patriots Day.
And am I correct that the only full PD days are in August prior to school and January 2nd?
That's
And
it.
everything else are half PD days?
Yes,
And the teachers prefer that format?
Yeah, they call them collab days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Because that was a request from them, right? Because we used to have them broken up.
Yes. And for us as educationally, I know it might not be convenient, but we do like to do those half days. Closer to a longer weekend or something, because there's already going to be a natural break, and when you have like a half day, like we're going to be having tomorrow. Because we have an early release day tomorrow that will be announced at 7 o'clock, due to weather.
That's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah, a little disruptive, so.
So anybody that's listening online, so any student,
Hey, guys, you're
this is why you want to listen to the school committee meeting.
I don't have to make school lunches.
You
I
never
am so
know.
psyched.
Like new. All right.
That's why we weren't doing those anymore. If we had an incident, we were back also relevant.
It's doing that one.
Okay.
I won't complain.
Early release day being announced at.
My teachers.
Those are nice, right?
Yes.
I make my.
Oh,
Yes.
So those are my two exciting pieces coming up tonight, the annual report, the district calendar, and. No, I had a teacher early release.
Final exam and then out.
Pretty much, yeah.
I ready and then home.
Ooh, I mean, I really was already enough. I'm good with it.
All right.
Perfect. You're out of the house.
Policies, got nothing for everybody this week. All I can say is hold on, because that won't be like that forever.
Right?
So, oh, you know
And
what,
when is our?
I do have a question though. You know how we sent all the chapter A up and we said this would, we presented it and we had it. Did we
Have
do
we
that?
sent
For I don't
chapter
think
B?
we did that for chapter B. So at the next meeting, we
Okay,
need to present chapter B, right?
As
'Cause
it now stands.
As it now stands, which will be the
Right.
first reading, and then we throw it down to the committee.
That's a good point.
Okay, so all we've got to do is whenever we get to, when we're just about to go to that new chapter. We have to remember
Do
to
that
bring,
now.
we have to bring it to subcommit or to the committee and present the chapter in ahead of time. I don't know how far did you guys get through B? Are we almost through B? or-
No, gosh, no.
Okay, all right, so we don't need to throw C in.
well, I think we should put C in there for the
Okay.
February 7th,
That's
February
fine.
14th, because.
Might
then
as
we're
well.
meeting.
Yeah, I mean, you
I
don't want
will.
to get too far ahead.
And
Yeah.
when, I'm just looking.
And we're meeting next Thursday at 4, because I verified that with Aaron today, because I forgot.
I'm sure I have it in my calendar, but.
All right, so Superintendent Willard, action items.
Move to approve the 22-23 field trip to the New England Air Museum on 2/14/23, recommended.
So moved.
Okay.
Anybody have any questions on that? Did we get clarification on what trip she's actually deciding?
Which one, the New England Air Museum?
Oh, sorry, hang
No,
on.
Central-
Next one.
Rod, pay attention.
I'm ahead.
No, and actually, that's a
Sorry
good
about
question, because
Is that even, wait a minute,
that is the Central, it has Central Europe. so I know.
Okay. It is in the first one.
Panama, Berlin. Oh,
Panama,
Panama.
Panama's this year, sorry.
Yeah, there's posters for Berlin for.
No, yeah, but they're both trips are going to Berlin. The question is, do they go to, are they going to Romania or not?
There's like Prague, Berlin.
Oh, there we go,
Yeah,
okay.
it's all
Prague,
listed.
4 locations.
Czech, Poland, Hungary.
Okay, that's the 4, so
Yeah.
that's the one where they're not on the train as long.
There you go.
Okay, there we go, so we made that.
Anyway, we're going back to there.
Yeah, sorry, I was reading the second line. So are we, do we do these separately or we do A all together?
You can do it. Move to approve the 23-24 field trip to Central Europe in spring 2024, recommended.
So moved.
All right. Anybody have any questions on these? Can I get a show of hands to approve? Aaron, let the record show the motion passes 500 plus Lucas.
Move to approve the 2022-2023 fundraisers, SRS cross country candy bar sales and car washes. And the 23-24 SRS cross country open cross country race, recommended.
So moved.
Second.
All right, I didn't, can you repeat that? one?
Yeah.
Anybody have any questions on this? Expecting big things from the cross country, money sales. Can I get a show of hands to approve this? What about the candy? Oh.
We expect you all to run in the
Aaron, let the
race.
record show the motion passes 5-0.
Yeah.
I'll go to lunch.
All right,
Move to approve the FY 22 annual town report submission prepared by STGRSD recommended.
So moved.
Second.
all right, so we're gonna make those little adjustments and then that'll go through.
I'll run if you do, Jen. How's
Okay.
that?
All right,
You're
the
running where? Oh, the cross-country run?
open cross-country race.
We're gonna have a school committee race?
Yes. we should
It's
do
open to the public.
How
Here.
long is it?
It's a regular cross-country meeting.
that. That'd be my.
Can we have a
5K,
modified, can we have a
5K,
modified?
2.3, 5K on this course, our home course.
0.5K for the. school
Not,
committee?
I was gonna say, it's not quite, they said 5. No, was it 2 mile fun run walk?
That's it.
There you go. Walk run.
Oh, walk. All right, let's get this. Can I get an approval for this? All right, Aaron, let the record show the motion passes 5-0.
Move to approve the 23-24 district calendar recommended.
So moved.
Second.
Questions on that? Oh, can I get a show of hands to approve the calendar? Aaron, let the record show the motion passes 5-0. All right, superintendent report. I've got none here. Did you
Just
make an
quickly,
addendum to that?
Just quickly, I just want to let you know that I am going to the midwinter mass meeting on Thursday in Marlboro. So maybe they'll have some good information to let us know anything that we can about the budget. I don't know. But I'll take whatever I
Are
can
you
find
holding
there.
out hope that there'll be something there?
Hoping. And under superintendent, I'll also say again, further with these things. Half day.
You don't need a vote.
Friday as well, correct?
Yes, they do.
God, we are winning.
Why
this year.
even have a full day of Thursday? You should just half day the whole rest of the week.
Exactly.
Teachers have PD.
Well, that was like, the schools in, Northern Mass, they were out Friday, Monday, made a 2-hour delay today. And been in school since last Thursday.
Renee,
We had 5 inches at my house.
Well,
Wow. Okay. Clay, you're up. Finance subcommittee meeting report.
Good evening, everyone. The finance subcommittee met for the first time since I've become director of finance and operations. And it was the first look at our draft budget for fiscal year 2024. A couple of things I would like to point out to everybody. There was a lot of numbers in the revenue side that were not changed because we just don't have hard information from Massachusetts Department of Revenue. That's specifically the minimum local contribution and information on the assessment for each town. We came out in the revenue, $48,501 less. With a negative 18% revenue from last year. Because of that. And we just didn't feel. We heard 3 different people say we had ranges of the minimum local contribution being from 450,000 total for the 3 towns to 500 and. Yeah, well, yes, that was the assessment number. And we just didn't feel any of those were solid enough. Because they were estimates and they were based on complicated guesses. One was from Mars, our consultant from Mars, Massachusetts Association of Regional Schools. Not the planet.
The next one's from Venus and Jupiter as well.
Expenditures, we really tried to be conservative. We had some hard numbers, for example, the tuition, the transportation assessment from LPVEC. We came in there only with a 3.7% increase from last year's budget, but the total difference between last year's approved budget and the draft, and I keep saying draft, was $988,096.53, which based on the revenue projections is quite a hole that we have to address. We felt that the presentation of the budget needed to be not sugarcoat anything. And that's, as the superintendent mentioned, we're trying to get hard information, and as soon as we have that, the revenue will look a little bit better, but the upshot in the conversation in the financial subcommittee was, we figure there will be a $500,000 gap between revenues and expenditures that we have to address. Happy to answer any questions.
Well, are we looking at the directions that we go to try to address that? And what might those general directions be?
Well, the superintendent asked that very question, in the finance subcommittee, and would you like me to describe it, or? The upshot is we are going to look for savings wherever we can in specifically areas where the reduction in force or full-time equivalents is a possibility. We're looking at patching the gap with money from the and we may have to ask the towns for discretionary amount.
I don't.
We came up with, we think that we could get it down to about $200,000 if the FTE reductions work, make sense, and don't diminish program quality. And then we were left with $200,000. We're not quite sure what we're going to do, but the priority is to look at each building. We've already reduced 3 positions out of the budget.
Right.
And we want to make sure we maintain program quality. We still continue to support the superintendent's initiatives, and we don't increase class sizes. That's the direction. Try to find savings in every area that we can without reducing program quality. That's the takeaway.
We've seen a huge increase in our special ed costs and our
Yes.
vocational out of district tuitions, and there's just nothing we can do with that. But I do want to assure you that when we do have the final budget, I, Mike, and even why I keep here doing this, I know the questions are gonna ask. I'll make sure that we have really concrete answers for the fixed cost increases and, how much is actually, increase out of district special, like things that we just can't control, because there's things they're fixed cost increases. We can't control what our insurance is, what our pension liability is, salary increases, out of district vocational tuitions and out of district special ed tuitions. Their increases are what they are.
For example, one of the hard numbers we had, transportation increases, it only came in at 83,204, 4.56% increase from last year. We were thinking it could have been a lot worse. LP back in their presentation last week, and went to great pains to say that they really tried to hold down passing along increased cost to member districts, and thankfully we're a member. So
Yeah, between the special ed increases and the tuition increases, there's the $500,000 right there.
many,
So
I'm
it's-
sorry,
No, go ahead. That picked up the lion's share of where we got hit.
many school districts, I'm monitoring the listserv, and they're filling in their projected budget increases. They're averaging 7% to 11%.
Or inflation.
The big thing that everyone was concerned about was the out of district tuition increase of 14%. We put into the first budget summary a 9% increase.
So. More to come.
Yes, this was our first take, and
Yeah.
I'd be happy to answer any more questions.
How much money do we get for kids whose school choice they do self?
Well, we're on the good on that. It's almost 2 to 1. The number that I had was 623,000 this year.
Oh,
And out 327.
Right.
And I'm rounding.
yeah,
I
I
have
get
the precise
Yeah,
figures on
yeah.
the spreadsheet in my office, but we are almost 2 to 1, and that's actually in the superintendent's report that you approved just a second ago.
That's helping us.
Yes.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
So
But if
Luke, you
we,
guys are gonna do a lot of fundraisers up there. No. We need a big bake sale is what we need.
and that's true over a 5-year trend. And a 10-year trend that we are to the good, but if our program quality goes down,
Right,
right?
exactly.
That's why they want to come here.
I think that's a pretty good kind of selling point, you know, to say in front of the committee, hey, you know, look what we take in, and look what we don't want to give up.
Right.
Because it'll be coming to you next year for a lot
Annual,
more, and it could be a lot
annual
more.
town meetings are gonna be fun this year.
I get it, you know, I mean, it's a sign of the times,
Yeah.
I know,
you know, it's
it is.
it's absolutely out of all of your control. You know, it's reality at home, it's reality everywhere, it's reality at Stop and Shop. You know, we
Yeah,
see it every day
also,
at the gas pump.
Our school population is still going down.
I get it, you know. You know. I think we're the, you know, the last generation of, well, you're, you know, having like, you know, the 2 to 3 to 4 children, you know what I mean?
I have one.
Yeah, she's making up for.
All right, you, thank you, by the way.
I have written kids.
I look at my nephews and nieces that are mid-20s and not married. You know, close to 30, not married and or married, but never having kids. You know, so what's that tell you?
French got to kids off in it. You know, so.
It's not that.
I just heard the word, tell them.
All right, we good with Clay? Thank you very much, sir.
My pleasure.
All right, so subcommittees. Negotiation, you got anything?
No, nothing.
No negotiation. Finance, we just talked about. LP back, there's nothing going on. Policy, we're meeting next Thursday.
Tuesday, not Thursday.
Sorry, Tuesday, yes, Tuesday at 4.
Okay,
I think it was, yes, sorry.
because I took my calendar, I'm like, what the heck is he talking?
No, it's Tuesday here. It was a day that started with D. I'm sorry.
The end of the block.
I guess the end of the day.
Buildings and grounds, we haven't had anything since we last talked. ILT,
Not since we last talked.
okay, wellness. Okay. Sped,
We have one.
technology,
We did have a technology subcommittee meeting.
how'd that go?
That was good. I neglected to bring my notes with me, but I actually did take good notes. But I think, you know, we heard from Garland and we basically heard what his strategy has been as he has acclimated himself to the district. And perhaps the most meaningful for me was to hear about how he's kind of done some restructuring within the technology department to really focus and use people's assets in the different directions that we need to go with regard to technology. You know, some people, their skills lie in networking, whereas others lie more in educational technology and the uses thereof. So he's kind of moved people around based on their strengths, which I thought was really good. You know, obviously, he's going to require a line item in, you know, in the budget. And because they have certain hardware and needs to make sure that we're moving in the right direction with regard to technology. So I guess we'll hear more about that as the budget unfolds. But I think that we made a good hire, and that we are in really good hands with him. He is the first technology director that I have ever encountered in my 22+ years as an educator, who actually is an educator himself. And that means a lot with regard to how we make technology work for what our purposes are. So I think, there'll be more to come for sure from him.
Super. Capital committee, we're good?
Good.
Nothing going on? Master plan,
So, actually, I was at the town meeting last night, it's like, and Marcus Phelps and John Goddard did kind of a readout to the select board to let everyone know that we're fast approaching the end, like, phase 2 of the master plan, which is, more about housing, is now kind of the next talk, but we've gotten through a lot of the, key components, through the various like the census that was sent out, input, and then subcommittees of the subcommittee, people coming in and adding input, and it's coming along quite
Super.
nicely.
you still on that, Lucas?
Oh, yeah.
Well, now we have 2 people, so that's good.
So I looked at Lucas.
Yeah, I got nothing for athletics. I've got to reach out to Mr. Trammell. We'll have a meeting before our next school committee meeting, so I'll have something for you guys next time. And that's it. We have still nobody here for public comment. So we've got old business. Anybody got anything? I got nothing on the agenda. New business, I got nothing. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Make it a show of hands to adjourn meeting. Aaron, let the record show the motion passes 5-0 with Lucas chiming in too with an affirmative. Thank you, everybody. Good night. Have a great week.
33 minutes, Mr. Chairman, not bad.
Wow, was that your close?
You've done good, mine was 27.
He's been here since 4:30, so he's.
All right.
So, Aaron, you need to start